Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Tokyo Ghoul DLC for Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Ghoul achievement. This one's going to be done from the killer's side. You are going to need the DLC's killer in the form of the ghoul to get this done, so make sure you grab him from the DLC pack or from the in-game store. This achievement is to get a merciless killer rating as the ghoul, only using his 3 unique perks. So, bare minimum, get him to level 10 to open up 3 free perk slots. The perks you want to run and only run are going to be Forever Entwined, Nothing But Misery, which is going to be a hex perk, and then none are free. Make sure you leave the 4th slot empty if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for add-ons or offerings. Make sure you get into a game, and then you're going to try to go for the Merciless Killer rating. So even though the perk loadout is going to be pretty solid, it's going to be pretty counterintuitive to how the ghoul actually plays, since he's going to mostly rely on his special abilities, but the perks themselves are going to enhance your basic attacks. So with that being said, you can stick to 2 different gameplay mechanics or try to mix both of them. You can either ignore the ghoul's special attack and just stick to your Dead by Daylight fundamentals, which is going to allow you to take advantage of the perks, or you can just ignore the perks and then try to get used to the ghoul's special attack, which can be useful. However, there is going to be a bit of a learning curve to how it works in terms of spacing. So make sure you keep those few things in mind when trying to decide on how to play this guy. To get the most out of the perks, you're going to want to try to land as many basic attacks as you can, especially early on. So to take advantage of this build at its maximum potential is to have a strong early game where you try to get in at least 8 damage dealing basic attacks on survivors as quick as you can. This is going to allow you to get the most out of the first 2 perks. The way the first perk is going to work is every time you deal damage to a survivor, you're going to get a little speed boost in terms of picking up and hooking survivors. This is going to give you a strong mid game and a strong end game if you are focused on building this up in the beginning part of the game. While working on building that up, you should also be working towards the second perk, which is going to be the Hex perk. The Hex is going to light up as soon as you land your 8 basic attacks. It's basically going to put the hindered status condition on all of the survivors while it's lit. So that's going to be a big advantage towards the mid game as well. So to get the most out of the ghoul and this build, you definitely want to use your Dead by Daylight fundamentals towards the beginning of the game and mostly stick to basic attacks. Once you have those first 2 perks built up significantly, and you have a good grasp on how the special attack works, you are definitely going to want to use that in the mid to late game. So the way the special attack is going to work is you're going to hold left trigger to aim it. You're going to want to aim it at any vertical surface. It should pull you forward once you press the fire button, and then if you happen to try to aim it a second time in the little brief window it gives you, and you target a survivor who's nearby, your reticle is going to turn into some teeth marks, and if you could pull yourself towards that survivor, it's going to damage them and then also put the deep wound status condition on them. Very strong special attack, as it allows you to close the distance very fast, and you have great maneuverability with the attack. The only downside is the special attack is only going to damage healthy survivors. So you cannot use the special attack in order to down a survivor. You can only use it to injure them. It does attack over the environment, and if there is going to be a vaulting spot in the way, it should force you into the vault. So once again, very good maneuverability, but it is going to have that major weakness of not being able to down survivors. So make sure you do use it with caution. Now, there is going to be a big learning curve to it. However, if you can get over that learning curve, it is going to be a very punishing special ability if you can get it down. Now, if you do find yourself in a very competitive game where the end game countdown gets triggered, whether that be from the generators being completed or you shutting the hatch, the ghoul's 3rd perk is going to give him a very strong end game. During the end game countdown, all of the vaulting spots and all the pallets are going to be locked for a significant amount of time. This amount of time is going to be based on how diligent you were in hooking survivors during the game. This is going to be an invaluable perk, especially on one-on-one situations during endgame countdowns where you have one survivor trying to give you the shake between the 2 exit gates and you're trying to cut them off. So do take advantage if that situation does rear itself. But nonetheless, if you can pull off the merciless killer rating, which is going to be the 4 sacrifices or kills, you should be good for the achievement once you get to the results screen. So there's going to be our merciless, and there's the achievement that comes shortly thereafter. This one's going to be for 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.